There you go.
Period. If I say something inappropriate or appropriate, it's too many things you can offend out here these days. You can offend. I ain't gonna say it because I might offend somebody just by saying.
But you're not a comedian though. But if I'm a comedian, I can say whatever I want to say.
Bottom line is don't slap me. There's too many things out here in this world you can't offend. If I even mention somebody's name or use an example, they gonna say you offended us by using this example as an offense. The whole point is this: if you slap me, I'm not Chris Rock.
You're not a comedian.
They don't want to slap, bro. If a man decides he wants to defend his wife's honor in that way, and that's what he's doing, because once you marry your woman, that's your everything. That's the person you're responsible for. Everybody worried about the reaction to what Will Smith did and how it affects his career.
Damn, man.
His career.
So y'all cool with shit.
They slap me?
Yeah, you cool with that.
Slap? Make a joke about my wife on stage and see what happens. Make a wife about my joke.
Make a wife.
Make a joke about. That's why I'm so mad. That's how you know I'm so mad. Make a joke about my wife and see what happens. And I'm gonna tell you like this. Everybody's like, oh, the place he chose to make it and do this, there were so many awards given out. This group was honored, the LGBTQ, that person was honored, Quest. Let me tell you this right now. It could be y'all funeral or y'all kids' baptism and somebody say something about my wife. Party fucking over.
You gonna slap us?
No, not y'all. In general,
they might be grown up, they might say a book.
Clearly they're not. I'm not gonna go on stage and slap you for saying something about my wife. What I'm saying is this. I don't like the narrative that Will Smith's timing was wrong. This is the whole point. If you do something, that's y'all. The bottom line is this: if you do something to my wife that I find offensive, I don't care about the setting. I'm going to shut you down.
That's part of this whole discussion, though.
But that's the
part of this discussion.
Let's get there.
You gotta think about it though. Like, so, okay, I understand if people say they wouldn't have done or reacted in the way that he reacted. I can understand that. I can understand if somebody said I would have slapped you backstage. I can understand all that. What I don't understand, and that you guys are gonna have to help me understand, is how can you say he's less than a man for defending his wife's honor in that way? I'm saying that's what people are saying.
How do you less than a man defending your wife?
Less than a man for defending your wife.
Let me, I'm going to y'all go real quick.
What's your word?
Therapist.
You ain't no therapist.
I'm not, but I'm gonna use a term that therapists use to describe Will Smith at that time.
You gonna fuck this up? Go ahead.
Emotional intelligence.
Right.
His emotional intelligence was off at that time period.
At that moment,
At that time period. I said at that time period. His emotional intelligence was off.
Right.
And if it was on, he probably would react in a different way. Because, let's look at the narrative. Chris Rock's telling a joke. Camera flashes. For 4 seconds, Will Smith was ha 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 ha. His wife goes,
Wasn't funny.
right. Will Smith goes,
Yeah.
his emotional intelligence at that time period.
Bullshit.
Both of them dudes are comedians.
Yeah, they
And
are.
Will Smith has made jokes about people with alopecia, right? We all see the clip, right?
Yeah.
We see the clip. He made jokes about person with alopecia, right? Cool. There's a clip a day later of Jada Pinkett talking about I love my bald head, right?
Of course.
So I don't care what people say about my bald head, right?
Right.
So what happened between the day before?
Well, you know, she didn't like his joke, but y'all are taking what I love my bald head as something totally different. First of all, let me explain something. She loves her bald head. She didn't tell her husband to go slap somebody. So he chose to do that on his own. That's all I'm saying about that. She can still love her bald head. She didn't tell him to do that.
You know why?
Why?
She be emasculating men on TV for the last
Probably.
August.
They weren't together though. They were at a point where they were getting ready to prepare to be divorced, and they won't get their thing. No. We don't have a real question. Like, let's be real. We three of us are married. The other one's on his way, right?
Right.
If you and your wife were separate and y'all about to get divorced, how long before you start dating?
Day one.
They not fucking.
Day two.
No, this is perspective. You gotta keep it real. There's a lot of people watching the show. You can't be out here lying. How long? If you and your wife separated, y'all probably had a divorce. It's looking more like divorce, but you might try to work it out, but it ain't there. So you ask me how long before I start dating or fucking?
It doesn't matter.
All right, let's say fucking.
to get through it,
right?
Yeah.
And that's why we gonna be crying at home for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. But not days, not years.
I'm playing Carl Thomas at night and don't stop about that today.
Days. But what's gonna happen is we gonna keep trying to replace that girl. That it's not gonna be.
Oh, you never gonna replace it.
Statistically,
Go back. I'm gonna be hurt. I'm gonna cheat on me. I'm gonna cry.
Statistically, men wait about a month post-marriage to start dating again.
Yeah.
Women wait 10 months.
Right.
Right?
That's why I
So
said 10.
the question is, if you are in that state where you know most of the
But
time,
that's not the same thing though. The one they still together.
no,
They say it wasn't at that time.
At that time, they were.
That has nothing to do with why you got slapped.
No. He brought up August. He brought up even in the masculine. He brought up August.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, they were at a point where their relationship was about to be over. They were trying to figure out how they were going to do the separation thing, and still happened to figure it out.
Right.
So she started messing with August. Will was doing his thing too. They was
Oh,
doing
we
their thing.
always heard rumors about him too, so he's not exempt.
So what I'm saying is, people are saying, oh yeah, she been emasculating him and whatever. They both were doing their own things. It just so happened that, again, society grabbed on to this story, this narrative, and they use that narrative to judge people in a certain way. My thing about the whole situation is, P, yes, he lacked emotional intelligence in that 4 seconds, but here's the thing. I'm laughing, ha ha ha. I look over at my wife,
She goes cold.
and my wife, I know my wife,
That means react.
right?
Yeah, that means
So
react.
if my wife is at a point where she's upset and she's angered, I'm either going to go react and stop this man and gotta deal with the world.
You gonna go slap somebody on the TV?
Yeah.
You.
Me? Over me? I'm slapping the hell out of everybody. Let me tell you why. Because I'd rather slap the hell out of everybody and I go home and I have peace.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying you gonna respond,
Yeah.
bro. You gonna go with a slap.
Bro, I'm going to slap the hell. If you disrespect my wife, and my wife do this,
Sit down.
let me tell you why I'm slapping.
No, disrespect is different. Is that joke disrespectful? Do you feel like?
I don't. So let me tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all another. Hold on. Let me add this theory to it, right? So, my boy Tim said that if you think about the joke, hey, she's going to be G.I. Jane 2. Who G.I. Jane 1?
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Who did Demi Moore leave her husband to mess with? Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
So she stopped messing with her husband and messed with the young dude.
So you saying you look at the joke
Oh,
So basically saying, oh yeah, basically you was fucking with the young buck and about to leave Will for the young buck.
Oh, wait. Time out.
I
gotta stop you. We had somebody who came on Braspective and was like, nigga, a joke is a joke.
Right.
The
Comedian
writer
Gary.
said,
Oh,
joke
yeah.
is a joke.
Shout out to GC.
He
He worked
said
on
a joke is
this
a joke, and he was like, us as comedians, when we're writing these jokes or coming up with these punchlines, they're jokes.
Cool. I'm not.
No, I gotta stop that. I gotta stop
Go
that.
ahead.
Because Chris Rock told a joke,
So,
right?
got slapped.
Now I'm gonna make correlations. So we need to say the jokes that are offensive to certain groups, people need to start running up and slapping them over it. Because then if that's the case,
Every joke.
Dave Chappelle will get slapped in every city.
So what y'all? So let me.
All I'm saying
let me
is,
explain
a
something.
joke, all I'm saying is, I'm making a point. First thing, the joke is the joke. The second thing is, there was emotional intelligence that was lost for like those 4 seconds, and it could have been handled in so many other ways.
No, hold on. Let me go in first real quick.
Go ahead.
A lot of this is my whole thing with everybody. All you Monday morning quarterbacking motherfuckers. A lot of people is talking about what was logical, how he should respond in logic. Let me explain something to you real quickly. I will die for or kill for anybody in my house. Okay, so if everybody understands that, let me explain something really simple about that. There is no logic behind those people in my house. The things that are associated with the people that live in my household, it gets real and unlogical because those are the people that I care for, I protect, and I provide for. I would say that a person that has that level of love for someone that they married or have children with are given a certain pass to make irrational or unlogical decisions. So guess what? If I choose to make an irrational decision, there is no emotional intelligence behind the decisions that I make for my wife or my children. I'm a fucking step about mine, plain and simple. Right. So the fact that Will Smith jumped up out of his chair and felt the need to react is just the responsibility of a man who is emotionally, who lost his emotional intelligence. No, he reacted based on his emotions.
But Tad, think about this, bro. You law enforcement. Everybody can't do that. I can't just go and walk and slap somebody. They gonna hit me with a song I will slip.
I
can't walk.
But can
I can't walk up on stage. You think you're gonna walk and slap my wife's boss and walk away?
I agree with you, but I'm saying this from a law enforcement.
If you make $20 million a year,
Yes, we're not in the end though. But I'm saying this though, there are certain situations in life that, yes, even as a police officer, if it comes down to the respect of my life, my family, my wife, and my children, bro, you can take this job with you.
We're all
you
gonna
take this fucking job.
So your wife comes home and tell you that her boss disrespected her, called her a B word, and some other stuff. She comes and tell you that. She comes home and tells you this.
True.
And when she tells you the story, she starts to cry.
Of course.
Oh,
You gotta go to HR before I go up there. You gotta go to HR first. If it's a man or if he's like
It's a man. It's a man. Go ahead.
Wait, it's a man. Well, don't let him.
if you did that to my wife, what's that song?
Don't let him shake you.
Bro, what's the song in the play right now? If you did that to my wife, I'm big step.
What I'm saying. But if it's not like
Immediately.
HR, wait.
No, talk.
And that's lying.
I'm gonna give you a spin on it. So my wife gets called to be at work. She comes home. The first thing out my mouth is, "You want that job anymore?" Because I'm gonna do something that you
You don't even have a job.
But here's the second thing, and this is why I said it that way. Because Jada Pickett, she knew as soon as her man made that motion, she could have
stopped
She
it.
could have been like, or she could have been like, that's not what you do.
Exactly.
So, and if my wife was like, hey, he called me a B, I'm like, so you're not working there tomorrow because I'm about to go up there and take care of business. And
That's
she
what I'm
goes,
saying.
no, I want to stay in that job. I'm like, look, and if you really want to stay in that job, you better be like, we're gonna figure it out because if you don't, I have to do what I can.
But that's why I said HR first. You want to keep the job, right? Hit HR, see what they do.
No,
And then go from there.
Hey,
I'm not
time
saying
out.
that. I'm saying I want to do something.
Time out. Ain't no fucking HR in Hollywood. You slap my wife and we both members of Hollywood and we got words. I'm a piece of ass. No, only me. And I'm trying not to.
But it's certainly the
And I'm trying not to.
But you're not allowed to make my wife cry.
She didn't
No.
lie, man.
No, but I'm saying, I'm talking about in the hypothetical.
He
The reason I'm saying that in the hypothetical because we're saying that he lacked emotional intelligence, and to a certain degree, I can understand it. But what if he actually was emotionally intelligent to understand his rights?
Right.
Well, her name's
Right.
Her issues, right? So when you think about it, is this the person and people that you are obligated to protect is your household?
Yeah.
Not even your image. Now, again, in cases you will see people do dumb things, overreacting emotionally. I'm not saying that what he did was smart. What I'm saying, he did what he felt he needed to do
In that moment.
to make his wife feel emotionally comfortable. Because if your wife don't respect you, you done.
You're done.
So
Well,
You're done.
she didn't show that.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
If your woman don't respect you, you're done.
Yeah,
I'm
you might as well break up.
I'm pro-black, so I'm pro Chris Rock and I'm pro
Will Smith.
Yeah, I think we all for everybody.
right? But in that split second, I think that was an opportunity for Will Smith to show the world, I got my wife's back, and I'm tired of y'all talking about our situation. So to shut everybody up, not only did he hit him, and this is why I'm going back to the whole situation, he came back to the seat, because hitting would have been enough. He came back to the seat, and what he said?
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Why did he say those extra words?
Because but I don't think
You see what I'm saying?
But
Like,
let me
not
say
only
this
do I
though.
have to show y'all, but for
Alright,
everybody
tell
else,
you.
for everybody else who don't know, keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Hold on, but he didn't slap Chris Rock, first of all. Let's be
It was like a-
no, what I'm saying is this hypothetical. I'm saying like in theory. He didn't slap him, he slapped through him. What he slapped was everybody behind him. I don't think it was really about Chris Rock. I think it was more about everything that they went through, right? Because often the time that we choose to react is built upon a whole bunch of situations in which we did react.
Right.
So I don't feel that his true target was Chris Rock. I just think Chris Rock's face at that time presented everyone to him. And he chose to react on it.
Is that Chris Rock's fault?
I don't think it's
And
Chris
I
Rock.
ain't even blame
But I
him.
don't blame Chris Rock at all for what happened. But this is my thing. I'm never going to blame a man for making a choice about his family that he felt he needed to make. There's no rationality behind it. There's no rationality behind a choice a man chooses to make for his family.
Let me tell y'all something, bro. We we unfortunately we live in a culture where people prey on people. Men assault women, or people assault kids, whoever it is. You know why people do that stuff? Other than them being sick in the head?
Vulnerable.
Because they think they can get away with that
Yes.
shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They think they can get away with it. And let me tell you something. I believe myself to be a very emotionally intelligent person. But what I don't play about is my wife and my son. And if you've read Will Smith's book, for those that have read his book,
You know.
understands he's always felt like he was a coward. He always felt like he had to defend. He missed on the opportunities to defend his mother. So he grew up feeling like, hey, if there's people in my life that I can help, I need to help them because I missed the opportunity to save my mom.
We had this conversation before. It's the same thing. We said we was always afraid of his father.
Right.
This cowardly, blind stuff came from his father, not from anybody else in the world. It didn't come from comedy. It didn't come from Hollywood. It came from his household. So why would you project that insecurity on Hollywood, which Chris Rock
Hurt people.
Well, no, let me also
Specifically generalized.
let me put a dynamic.
But I'm saying,
It's real though.
as we both know, the reason why he done that, but he's aiming that shit in the wrong place.
Yeah,
But
projecting it on
let me just say this from a real standpoint. I ain't trying to change the tone or the mood, but I grew up in a house where I've also seen domestic violence happen between my parents throughout their relationship on different occasions, right? It's not about how constant or frequent it was, but those are things that I saw growing up. So for me, I reached a certain point in my life, you know, that I can relate to in Will Smith's book where I don't give a fuck who you are. If you step on anything that I feel like is threatening or hurtful physically to me or anybody else, I'm stepping. I don't give a fuck what accolades I have behind me, what job I'm supposed to go to on Monday. All that shit's out the window. Now, is that related to my past trauma? I'd say
Yes.
without me being a psychologist, yes, it is.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is this. If that truly is his case, right, I could totally relate to that. He may be stepping into that for himself right now. I stepped into that for myself once I moved out of my parents' house, where it was like, I don't give a fuck if it's me or whoever else I'm with. If this is what happens, I'm stepping about mine because there were so many situations in my personal life that I saw that I did not act on, right? I'm not saying I never intervened or jumped in the middle of shit, but I will say that there were a lot of situations that I didn't. So in life, whether it be about my friends who are my brothers or my wife or my children, if you put me in a bad situation, it's gonna go up. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I may take people to jail, but I ain't going to jail. I'm a whole court in the street. You gonna have to, because I'm not going to college.
Think about what Ty said. So, you know,
I'm just keeping it real.
And hold on, don't kill me for sharing this. You know, when I was younger, 5, 6 years old, the person that my mom was dating was physically abusive. And I literally remember us living in this apartment. I mean, not this apartment, this house. It was a Victorian style house, 3 levels on Kentucky Street. I remember my mom, I'm hearing them upstairs fighting, right? And I hear my mom screaming. I'm probably 5, 6, I go grab a pot. I'm trying to hit the dude to help my mom, right? Fast forward, now I'm an adult and I'm married. You know, one, I don't believe in putting my hands on a woman at all, whatsoever, right? And that's based on that experience. 2, I would never put myself in a situation again where as a man I can't protect the women in my life that I love. Right? So I'm going to be hyper vigilant when I'm with my wife, scanning my environment, overprotective, making sure my wife is mentally, physically, and emotionally okay. Because as a provider, you're not just providing monetary, you're providing security, physically, emotionally. You're making sure your wife is secure in all regards. If that's what Will feel like he needed to do, based on his trauma, the trauma you had, the trauma that I had, where he felt like he needed to respond that way, all we can say is that's what he felt like he needed to do for his wife. Right. Now, again, I probably would have stopped him backstage. But on the same token, if I look at my wife, y'all know Mimi, if I look over at Mimi and she's bothered,
y'all probably both went on stage with his ass.
Right, so I gotta go before she go, because I'm gonna go to jail.
She don't care.
So I gotta go before my wife go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. You do what you need to do to protect your home. And there's a lot of black men or men, I don't want to say black men, my bad. There's a lot of men who don't understand that. You do what you gotta do to protect your wife. That's the person you live with.
Well, who are you married to?
Your wife shouldn't put you in those situations. Let's say that. Your wife should avoid putting you in situations like that, but still.
But who are you married to and who is the priority? I had a lot of people saying, well, I got a job, I gotta think about my job, well, I got this, I got that. fuck all that, bro. For the people in my household, and I'm not saying that this is the way everybody else has to respond.
No. That's manhood.
Yeah, and I think that's mandatory.
No, my brother gonna be married this summer, right? I
Right.
told him, I said, hey, bro, you know you asked that girl to marry you.
You gotta die for it. Or be willing to.
Look, that, you gotta take care of everything. Ain't no going back to ask your mommy or daddy for nothing. You gotta provide. Ain't no she gotta go back home to her mama, her daddy, or nothing. Hey, bro, you gotta lock in with everything.
Yeah.
Lock in with everything.
Right.
I did it. You see me do it.
Mhm.
You just younger than me, but I'm gonna help you. But you gotta lock in on everything. It ain't no like, oh, I'm just gonna, let me call my brother, let me call my dad, You gotta figure it out because she looking at you to protect her.
Yeah.
She looking at you to pay the bills when the refrigerator empty. She looking at you to fill it up. Like, all that is on you now.
Right. And I'm just saying though, right? Will may have joked or brushed it off and laughed a little bit. He's a man. His skin is a little bit tougher, right? But when you turn to that corner and you see your wife's face look like that, the only person that truly understands that, bro, is somebody who is with that person, inside that person, physically, emotionally, everything like that. You know what that look meant better than the rest of us did, right? There's a certain look that my wife had on her face that if that look comes across her face, there's nothing else for anybody to talk about, bro. And whoever the target is, all I see is red, of course. Plain and simple. So I'm not saying that everybody should react that way. I'm not saying the choice that he made was the right choice to make, but what I'm saying is that any man that feel the way that I feel about my wife for their wife, I'm not gonna be the motherfucking money. I'm stepping.
Right? We've all been friends longer than we've known our wives, right? But I expect you to slap me over your wife. If I disrespect your wife, you better slap me.
Right.
Now, as men, we can talk about it later. We gonna fight.
Yeah, gotta
But
fight.
2-3 days later, we
We're
gonna be okay.
gonna be friends again.
We gonna be friends.
Let's talk about that.
But I can only let you because that's when you got to sleep. That's when you got to sleep.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. But we talking about that situation and that slap. I agree with you. Beat the hell out of me if I disrespect
So
your
what's
wife.
the difference between that situation?
The difference is, this is the difference. The difference is, in that situation we're talking about, it was public forum.
Sure.
He's a black man attacking another black man on the stage in front of all these white people. Y'all are looking at that situation. I'm looking at the bigger damn picture. So now
you worried about everybody else?
I'm not worried
You worried about it. You talking about everybody else.
He's not worried about what they think of them, they're worried about things.
How it generalized white men are
No, I'm saying that, but that's my problem.
But you both, we're getting back into the
No,
system.
no, fuck them, fuck the system. I'm tired of
Fuck the system.
No, but I'm telling you, yeah, but I ain't been put in that situation yet because I can tell you right now, they can take this fucking badge and this gun. Fuck all of that. We always worried about what everybody else thinks, bro. We always suppressing our emotions as black men for what the world, everybody else gonna think. No, I'm tired of that shit. He decided to step outside of that. It just so happens that he's rich enough to do that. But I'm telling you right now, from a $20,000 a year position, not $20 million, I'm stepping about that shit. We always gotta consider everybody else.
I'm not saying consider everybody else. I'm saying consider your fellow black.
Let me finish all
So
I'm
you
saying.
telling me he should have slapped
Let me finish what I'm saying is this. You're talking to me about how everybody else has to we have to consider everybody else before we make a rational decision. I'm tired of that shit, bro. All I'm saying is this, is black men in general, all we do is suppress our true emotions, our true reactions to fucking tap dance for somebody else. I don't give a fuck if he was white or not, I'd slap the shit out of him regardless.
That's the question.
If he was white, I'd have done more.
That's another conversation. But what I'm saying is, a lot of stuff that we talk about is black
You know
on
what?
black. We talk about black on black.
We do that.
So what you trying to say? You think Will would have slapped him because he's a white dude? A white dude would have made that?
Did you slap the dude for trying to kiss him that was white? So he slapped every fucking body. So he slapped everybody.
I'm talking. Yeah,
He's a
I'm
slapper.
bringing
He's
it
an
back.
habitual slapper.
I'm not talking about. I'm not worried about the slap. I'm talking about in the form of where he did it. Showing the black on black aggressiveness where he could have really took care of that in a different way. That's all I'm saying.
So you know what? To close this episode out, I got it now.
When you go again, you keep going up.
You about 40 plus? Yeah. So hopefully when I get about 40 plus, I'm as mature as you. But until then, I'm slapping the fuck out of somebody about my wife. If your name is Quamisha Bradley and you wearing that ring that I bought from Salisbury Wayne, and you say something ridiculous, girl, I'm gonna slap the fuck out of you. Plain and simple. I'm not good on my emotional intelligence. I'm not logical. I don't give a fuck about my job and all that stuff. My wife get disrespected, I'm stepping about that shit because my family, when it comes to them, I don't have no emotional intelligence. I'm just gonna step. Now if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And no disrespect to Chris Rock, but I'm saying,
a joke, Tab. We're not talking about some
joke or not, if she don't laugh, you get beat up.
Talk about work.
Hold on, you getting beat up.
But we gotta go. But the reality is, you know,
Listen, y'all know my wife, she a fighter. All of my wives.
All of our wives
With
fight
with shit.
plain and simple.
But I'm saying that joke wasn't even that fucking great, nor was it.
I'm not even talking about the joke either, though, too. I'm saying
The joke was a
again,
word.
This shit was not.
Oh,
But that's not the point. That's not the point.
You talking about her response to the joke?
no, what I'm saying is,
no.
we understand it was a joke, but y'all understand that words have a bigger impact on your mental than anything. Right? So if she's struggling with alopecia, then that's why he got slapped. He made a joke about something that she probably was sensitive to.
We all want to slap.
Cut it.